Tell me this chicken wire. This is a dismantled big cage?
Yeah, I'm reusing the chicken wire from a previous project. I like to see things go to waste. And this chicken wire was sized out 36 by 36. And I'm trying to get the curvature out of it because I'm going to make a cover for my bucket to keep the birds out.
Okay, you need 2 more of these, right?
Yeah, I need 2 more.
Okay.
And this one's already cut out to size. And I'm gonna place it in the bucket, put another bucket on top.
Okay, let's see it. Okay, these buckets are your old paint buckets?
Yeah,
Okay.
old paint buckets put to use.
So you're just gonna stack it,
Yeah.
use it as a mold?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Be sure you put on your gloves for this project because this stuff is sharp and it'll stab you. So you just take it and place it on top. As evenly as I can. Okay. And then I'll take another bucket. I'll come in.
You might want to speak louder for the microphone to
Okay. And
catch you.
stick another bucket in on top.
Okay,
Push it down.
so you're using the upper lid as a mold?
Yeah, I'm using the upper bucket as a mold. Okay.
And these are just toppers.
These are
Toppers for your containers.
just exactly.
It's not a full cage like the other ones.
Right, it doesn't go to the ground. Okay. Get the handle out of the way.
These are mainly used for your seedlings, am I right? Because like your beans, for example, they grow bigger than the bucket on the
Yeah.
covers.
Right, they do. And it's to keep the birds out because the birds like to eat the
Seedlings.
seedlings.
And then
Okay.
you're going to put a bird netting on top of it,
Well,
correct?
probably will with your help.
Yeah, we're going to, because you got extra netting in the patio.
Yeah.
We'll cut those and
And,
recycle those.
You can see that I've gone just about as far as I can go with it, using my weight to push down. So what I have to do now is to cut it, and I'll give myself about 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Okay, and then I'll come around and cut it to the outside. Alright, and then I start going across.
Boy, those motorcycles, what did you do with them so it's so noisy?
Leave the pipes off of them, I think,
Why would they do that?
so it bothers you. Yeah, they want you to draw attention to it. But anyhow, you see, 4 inches maybe. Yeah,
You're going to cut
maybe I'll give myself a little extra.
you're going to cut it all around?
And we'll cut it all around. It's a little bit wasteful, but the material I'm working with is cheap and it's being recycled, so I don't feel too bad about it. It's better than just throwing it away.
This is one side of the former cage you made.
Right, I made a big cage. It didn't work out because the cats jumped on top of it and it caved in. And the cats had a fun time because they thought it was a trampoline. And I was stuck with a crushed cage. So, but it keeps the cats out too, by the way. Yeah, it keeps the cats out. But it's mostly for the birds. And I try and keep this 4 inches around as much as I can.
And you're keeping the birds out because they are eating your seedlings.
Yeah, they're eating the seedlings. Doing what birds do best. Besides eating insects, they'll take seedlings this time of year. They're raising their young. Maybe it's the moisture that they're looking for. We do live in the desert.
You know that I allegedly guy in YouTube that does current events?
Yeah.
Not that one, the other guy, the accountant, that's also a preacher guy. He said something about the shortages are back because of the tariffs and lots of our produce are coming from Mexico. So it's gonna come in handy, all your greens that you're growing and the tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm trying to grow plants that keep giving all through the season, and one of them is the Blue Lake bush green beans. And it's not just like grow and harvest and then that's it for the summer, because the green beans, they just keep on producing all summer long. Just trim it off, just like this. That's probably all you need to do for right now then. I'm giving myself some extra, as you can see, 4 inches, because this bucket is not in very deep, okay? And with all this excess chicken wire, I'll never be able to really push it down. So by cutting off some of the excess chicken wire, I'm able to shove the bucket down to make a bigger dome, okay? So you have to trim it. And like I said, the chicken wire only comes in, I think, 36-inch widths, and that's why I made it 36 by 36, because I'm working with the width. Okay. This looks pretty good, except for maybe here. Get this part. Well, let's shove it down, see what happens. See if it goes down a little bit more. These paint buckets have been left out in the sun for a long time, but they're very brittle. Okay. And I bet if I trim some of this off a little bit more, I might even get it to go in deeper. I don't know. Let's see. Turn it around. Kind of smashing it up against the sides. If I can get it to slip in. If you wanted to make these things in a mass scale, you just need a press. You know, it could be metal bucket. If you just press it together, you'd have an instant cover. But these are plastic buckets. There it goes. Bring it down a little bit more. I don't see anything catch it. Maybe this. See, it's pretty close. It's pretty tight, okay? And then I come over here, and I'm going to trim it off before I take out the bucket. So I'm going to put it up here where it's easier to reach. Piece of an old squash plant. Just trim it. I don't know if you can see me cutting the wire. You'll need a tool similar to this because it's made for cutting fencing, and it's real easy to cut chicken wire with this kind of tool. It's got different kind of leverage system on it that really cuts.
Where'd you get that tool?
Oh, I think I got it at Home Depot. Yeah, where I bought the chicken wire.
Well, you know, Tractor Supply also has it.
Yeah, they might. And
They might have tools too there.
the thing about it, you know, at first I thought you could cut it with pin snips, and no.
Let me get this cutters out of this. I mean, it's dragging you.
Okay.
You have to have a leather gloves on this because it's gonna hurt you if you get to the edge of the chicken wires.
It's stabbing quicker than a feral cat.
Okay. And all these filings or snips of the wires that you made, you're gonna pick this up with a magnet?
Yeah, I have a magnet on a stick. It's used to pick up nails from a roofing job.
It's probably good to do that because you have these sharp wires around and you could go through your shoes, you know.
Yeah, I suppose you could, even a tire if it hits right.
So it might be good to do that. Pick it up, you know. You don't want to step on it accidentally and then hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're going to end up getting a tetanus shot someplace.
That's true.
And those tetanus shots, you know, they're not fun to have.
No.
I think they're good to have, especially if you're working with wires and tools. But, you know, I remembered having a tetanus shots. I think you're supposed to get it once every 7 years, isn't it? Or somewhere like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remembered getting one just to update shots, passports and stuff. Gave me a headache.
Gave me a butt ache. Excuse the language. But they give us things, at least they used to. on the tail end, the rump.
I think I got it in the arm. I'm not sure.
Oh man, you're brave.
I never got it in. My arm got stiff.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're gonna go travel internationally, you're gonna need all the shots. They want you to get it.
Yeah. Hey, if anybody knows a better way of doing this, I'm certainly interested. But right now, this is the fastest, bestest best way.
How many minutes does it take you to make one lid? A form lid like what you're doing, not a full cage.
Well, if you have to size the wire up, cut it off the roll, it can take 15 minutes, you know.
Just to cut or complete?
All complete.
Oh, that's not bad. Do you need to have somebody to help you?
Yes. If you can get someone to help you, it'll save you a lot of pain.
How can they help you? Hold one end or the other, or hand you tools?
Because the chicken wire, when it comes in a roll, it wants to curl back up. And you need someone on the other side that can hold it down, because you really need to flatten it out. You can't really work the curved chicken wire. Looks like I just about got this. Now there's a real good possibility that this might even go down further. Now that I've got it trimmed out. Let's try.
Is it going further?
No, this one isn't.
No?
Okay. Sight. Now I got to do the part that pisses off all the neighbors. It's called beat the paint pail, because I got to get them apart. And I use this rubber mallet right here.
See the mallet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of square on the ends, and I use it to strike the pail to get it apart. It's not that easy to get apart, but if you keep working on it, you'll get it. And I like to hit them right about here, which is where that second pail is. Here's the first pail, and then the second pail I'll hit here. Sorry about the loud banging noise. Okay.
You can lower the sounds in the video. Let's take a look. Okay. How do you know that this is a success?
Well, I just kind of looked at it, like how tall it is.
Okay. Okay, let me see you put that on the container.
Alright. Fold over a little piece just to make it hold its shape. There we go.
It looks like a hat, you know.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a hat. You can call that, what, a container bonnet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Container bonnet. And let's see which pot needs it. It's already been planted. I have chard in here. I'm growing chard, and I want to keep the birds out of it. So I just take it, stick it over, and it's a good fit. Ta-da!
Okay, now let me show the bird netting over here because the small birds can get through the holes. But here is the netting. This is the netting here. And it can be attached at the top because what the birds do is to go through these holes here and then drop. They don't go to the side but from the top. So you need to put a tie on this one here, okay?
Yeah.
And maybe to the side just to hold it so that the wind doesn't blow it away, or even four. But when the birds get in here and they feel this netting, they won't go down.
Yeah, that's a smart bird.
Okay. So this one is your bonnet and the other one's a full cage.
This one's trying to come loose a little bit. So I'm going to kind of bring it.
You just twirl the wires together to make it hold.
Yeah. That's why you need gloves.
Oh yeah, those sharp ends. By the way, your gloves are already tearing, so you'll need to get new ones.
Yeah.
Do you have other ones?
No, I'm out of them.
Who sells them?
Oh, anybody. Hardware store.
Will Walmart carry them?
Yeah, even Walmart will carry it.
Okay, because we're going to Walmart anyway. We need a few things.
Yep.
So you mark it so you know what's in it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when the plants grow larger and doesn't get vulnerable to birds anymore, you just take the bonnet off.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha.
Let them go
higher
and stronger, but it works.
Let's take a look at what you got right now in here. You're preparing this ready to seed.
Yeah, I've seeded most of this. This is all Swiss chard through here.
I think you have some beans in there.
I got 4 buckets I still need to plant.
Okay, what you're gonna plant in there?
Well, I'm thinking about
tomatoes,
yellow squash maybe,
okay,
crookneck or tomatoes, but I haven't planted any crookneck squash yet.
Oh, then put some in there.
I think I'll put some in there.
Yeah.
And the others, well, I'm going to grow my peppers.
Peppers over there,
over there.
Other side, sunshine hits there.
Yeah, my hatch chili or Anaheim peppers are going to grow over there.
Because you're going to need only a couple of them because they yield a lot in this bush.
Yeah, yeah. And, there's different ways. This takes longer to make and takes more materials.
Yeah, because this is a full.
Yeah.
And you used this for what?
Well, this is last year's invention.
Oh, last year's invention.
Which works good. I mean,
I think it will work for your plants that needs it all year round, all through the growing season.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, for example, your spinach, they will tear it. Your lettuces, they will eat it. So you need to cover it all throughout the growing season.
This is kind of a shorter term right here. This one's shorter term.
This one's just a bonnet.
Just to get them
cap.
Sprouted and strong.
You're just using this one as a cap for your container, am I correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
And a little bit goes a long way because you're only using.
Because these will come off when the plants are mature.
3 foot lengths. This uses much more.
Okay, you got more over here and the side. And then you can move these buckets around as you follow the sunshine throughout the summer.
Yes, and I do. I move them around. See.
I think that's the advantage of having container garden because you can move it around.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, I got you in here and that's great. Okay.
It's me making another one.
This one's your last one for today, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, accomplished quite a bit today. I'm gonna go see where your one feral cat is hiding.
Okay.
Okay. Here's one of the favorite places, that Brownie. This is the youngest, smallest of the kittens that the feral mom brought to our yard. She's TNR. That means trap, release, and neutered. Actually, she's a she, so she is spayed. This is one of her favorite hiding places. She just come in the house to eat. And sometimes she sleeps at the back of the sofa. But these cats, 1-year-old cats, they're feral. But you might not call them feral, they're semi-domesticated. We can pet them. And I can also clean them up, take dust off them. So they're not completely feral. But they're not really stray because we take care of them. We feed them with 2 kinds of food, and one is dry food. That's the 9 Lives complete meal or complete diet for cats, and the other is a variety of canned foods, and that one I believe is 9 Lives or Special Kitty. So here she is, and we gave her the name of Brownie because she's got brown highlights. Brownie is now 1-year-old or around there. She does go inside and sleeps there too. One at the foot of the bed, again sometimes at the back of the sofa. But she still likes to come outside and sleeps here. But it's alright. She needs the variety of places to hide. Brownie gets along with her older brother, which we name Mickey. I think Mickey is a better name. We get them both confused as Blackie and Brownie, so we just changed his name to Mickey. And Mickey likes to sleep inside, so he's inside, and he likes to perch on dining chair, so he's in there right now. Here's a look at the container garden. There's a few green items still growing. The chives are over in the other end. It's actually blooming right now, and there are still lettuces in there, but they're getting kind of old. But also what's coming out are the black-eyed Susans, so we'll probably get early blooms from those plants because they had been planted in the fall. They were volunteers, and I just tried to see if they will survive the winter, and they did. Here's a 2-year-old chives plant in a pot, and it survived the winter. And it's interesting because this is April the 8th to be exact, and here you can see that it is blooming already. It's got a beautiful purple type of a flower here, and more blooms to come. I probably should snip this off so it doesn't seed and doesn't shut down the plant. Here are the lettuces, and they're still coming up, but they're getting older now. So this probably should come up now. Some are now starting to bolt, so you can see here. They'll probably attempt to bloom and seed. And right here are those volunteer black-eyed Susans. I like to plant them to see them bloom as well because they attract a lot of the pollinators. They'll be yellow in color with a brown speckled yellow center. It's going to be a pretty one. And I have a few of these. I actually have a second and third pot. And here's the second pot in here. And again, they're planted for the pollinators. And these are all volunteers. And here's Chip with his last bonnet that he'll put on the container. There are a lot of birds here in the neighborhood. We do have feral cats here that's been tipped in the ear, as in TNR. That's the trap, release, and neutered category. But we have stopped feeding the birds in that way. They are not going to get into capture mode from the cats. Here is a hummingbird feeder. It's okay to feed the hummingbirds because they're really agile and fast. The cats can't get them and they're high up on the tree, but not a good one to feed the white wing, which is feeding from this feeder right here, because the white wing has a tendency to walk around. We don't really want the cats to get them, so they should stay high up on that tree. Here's the two cats, Brownie and Mickey, and their mother, Mama Millie. We had been able to trap her, and at this point she is under the care of the animal control, and she too will be TNR'd, and most likely she will return back to this territory. If you see 3 cats, then all 3 of them are here. We will continue to care for them and feed them, and they can come in the house if they want to. But this one here, which is Mickey, which is the older cat, or older of the 2 kittens last year, he had to return in the backyard. Somebody had taken care of him, but he had to roam in free, so we're just speculating that whoever had taken care of him had left the area and just left him also to fend for himself. And he prefers to be inside in the evenings and some parts of the afternoons or mornings to go to sleep. There's a bird up in the tree. He looks like a crown sparrow. He's just singing away. He's too far above there in the treetops. I don't think the cats will get him.